We are very excited to have Olese Kukene with us today. She is an image and a fashion designer and a fabulous and creative person. She has been making her mark in the industry, revolutionizing fashion and creativity for years. And she's also the founder of Design Sense Lithuania. And she is an amazing human being. So I had the pleasure of, meeting you in your presentation. I had several aha moments, several wow moments. And so I wanted to, of course, share that wow moments with our audience today here. So my first question is about my favorite moment during your presentation that I noticed was your take on the beauty of embracing imperfection. We live in a world, where every one of us obsess over perfectionism. We try, we want to be perfect, but you have a really beautiful take on embracing imperfection can be beautiful. So how does this approach influence your designs, and also how does it challenge the conventional standards of the industry?
Well, I think perfection maybe it's not natural. I think like it's not natural thing. The natural thing is to you, like to anything, anybody, to have an experience, and those experiences are seen in the body, in the behavior, in the how we form our sentences, how we talk, and it shapes us. And it shapes the tree, how it grows, and what climate and environment was at that time when it was growing. So I think this is our uniqueness in those experiences, in those curves, in those as it is possibly could be it could be called imperfections, but actually, in my point of view, this is perfection. It's more humble and kind when we lean to natural way of things, and when we look at our bodies and we understand that this is natural to our body to feel that way after this kind of experiences and to be in that form. Like, as we talked before, it's not like that we are triangles and squares, and rectangles. We are like stones. We have different curves, different shapes, and when you put different stones together, you don't even need this big combination material, and you can have this nice castles who survives for centuries, and walls who can keep up for centuries, because those beautiful stones, like somebody who knew those stones, put them together, knowing those angles, and like embracing those angles of different unique stone.
Amazing. I love it. Perfection is not natural. It's beautiful. We live in a world these days where almost like superpowers are on our fingertips, right? But of course, yeah. But it kind of like, these tools and everything that we have on our fingertips, it kind of like, it's making our creative space smaller and smaller and smaller. It's limiting our imagination and that space to be more creative and express ourselves. But during your presentation, again, I'm referring to that. That's my point of reference. There were wow moments, so many of them. So I wanted to really ask you, like, how do you push your creative boundaries constantly? How do you push those limitations? And what is really like your creative process? Like, how do you come up with crazy ideas? They are also beautiful.
Thank you so much. Actually, I would talk a little bit in magic terms, okay? It's like, this cards, there's tarot cards. You know, this kind of cards,
Yeah,
very old.
yeah.
It's like kind of an archetypes of human experiences. You know, so this in that block of cards there is a card called Zero. It's not the first one. It's zero. It begins, the card block begins with that and ends with that. So the first card is called Joker. So this kind of person who begins the journey, he's like not knowing anything. He's going through the world, trying things, you know. Somebody says, oh no, you know, the world is not good. You have to be careful, you know, you have to do like this and like this. He doesn't know what can happen, so he is happy and enjoying and curious. Then he goes through all the experiences of the life. And then in the end, he's as well a joker, but it is called differently. It is called the blessed one. So he's go with the same confidence, with the same joy, with the same lightness. He knows what can happen in all this cycle, but he believes and trusts. So luckily, I have born in this way. I'm born in this way, or maybe my mom and dad did something. I don't know. But for me, I'm going like some kind of a joker in this naive and curious way in life. I don't have any perceptions about myself. I don't know who I am. I am never stopping at any convention that I am this and that and that, you know. I don't know anything. Like every new moment is new for me. And when I meet other people, when I meet situations, for me it's new. I don't know about it anything. And I try, one thing that I do, I try not to put any perceptions and mostly do the release of it, you know, just to be in the moment with the person, to listen, to understand, to get all the feeling in this moment. And I then at that in this kind of connection, I hear a lot. I hear some key words that people use or see something in the behavior. I don't take anything as normal, you know, so then I see, oh, this is this kind of behavior, this organizations does like this, and they think it's normal, so they don't even realize that they are doing like this. But this is strange. So when you come without any perception before, you can see things, and then you can work with them. Like from this, then it can be your starting point. You know, as an inspiration for you. So this is how I make my material or question that I raise, which I want to work.
You work in an industry, it can be cutthroat, you know, in design, fashion. It's crazy out there, and it's very competitive too. And really, you know, to have an edge and to have an identity, to have creativity in this industry can be really challenging, you know, like you are constantly seeing, you know, a lot online, a lot everywhere out there in the market. What are some hacks that you use when you have, you know, sometimes creative fatigue or creative blockages? Like, are there specific things that you do?
Yeah, I do. I do have those like very structured even things. So I never work from like white page. I never start on white page, because white page is, I think, most freezing thing what could happen to any person, any creative person. This is the hardest thing, you know, when you look to this and you can watch this white page for months and not create anything, or think that what you write it or what you have written or drawn is everything that's only a copy of something before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I do, I do call it meat, you know. So I put everything that inspires or is that in that question, in that area. I put a lot of things, what I've heard, what I experience, what other people experience, what other artists did in that field, you know. Put a lot of information, experiences, visual
On the
things.
white page.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I have like this field, and then I can make connections or make even conflicts, like something which is connected already by people. Then I think, oh, maybe why it's together? Maybe it can be separate. And what would happen if we would like do it like opposite ways, you know, just as children play. You know, they don't understand that something belongs to something. They put underwear on the head. You know, that thing like children do, like, and somebody like, you know, says, oh, children are so creative. No, they don't. They aren't. They are just don't. They don't know that underwear belongs only on the down part of the body. They are just experimenting, exploring. So I think if we would explore, like, oh, maybe the hair is connection, maybe what happens if I put this algorithm, or maybe I would separate it, you know, just to play. But before, you have to make, like, when you make meal, you buy the ingredients or you look in the fridge what you have to make it faster and easier. The other thing, which is very important, is time, to give yourself time. I think the burnout in creative industry, in a lot of industries, is happening because people don't give time for themselves. For creative process, you need time. It's not like you have to sit on the couch and wait while the muse will come, you know. You have to do it, actually. Yeah. And the inspiration comes in the working process. But in the creative process, there is some moment when you think that everything that you do is absolutely crap. You know, there is always this moment, like, oh, what I do, maybe it's like, it's already done, it's absolutely worthless, you know. There is always this moment. And then you have to go and do like anything else but that. Like, whatever you want to do it, but just go away from this process. Your brain is still thinking. Your brain is still in the field. Your body is still in the field.
Yeah.
When you will ride the bike, or maybe go to, I don't know, to hip hop championship, you know, or whatever. So suddenly the idea will come up, because your brain was working all the time, but you took the pressure off yourself, you know. And the last thing which I could maybe share is work with the bad ideas. There is such practice in some universities of design where students have to work with the ideas which are in the recycle bin. And make it and look at them differently and make it work. And usually they are best ideas.
Wow, amazing! Thank you. Regarding the point that you mentioned about, you know, like when you reach a point where you feel like, you know, everything is worst, it's not gonna work out. I posted a video last week about, you know, like how just going on a hike, all of a sudden it just comes to you like revelation, right? So not because a revelation happens to you, but you actually like kind of loosen up and give your brain the space to work on it, right? So you are taking the pressure off. So now it's like connecting the dots and processing the information. You are like, wow.
It's not only the participation of the mind, you know, we narrow ourselves to the one point of acting, like from the mind. There is this like legend, working from the heart, of course. but actually whole body works. If you live in waking up your body in all senses, the touch, the smell, the taste, the hearing, you can get like different ideas and work differently if you loosen up your body and let it feel. Like if you elevate, from example, in design, we use sight a lot. The sight is most important. If it looks good, it's good, yeah. But if we take away our sight, how does it feel? How design feels? How the room, the architecture, the building is felt? How it navigates your body through the stairs or through the furniture? Is it easy for you to go? Does it natural for you to move in the space? Do you feel adequate, or do you feel small, or do you feel big in that environment? Do you fit in, or do you have space to breathe? Yeah, so what happens does it bring you memories, or maybe gives you some sensorical experiences? So just, as well, taking something away, gives you inspiration to look differently and to act differently.
Interesting, amazing. Most of your work does revolve a lot around body, experiences, feelings, emotions, and mostly like self-expression. I wanted to ask you, like, people who want to use fashion to express themselves, and you are also an image designer, so to really, build a brand, build an image, a professional, a personal, whatever, what are the key elements that they could literally pick up to be able to genuinely express themselves?
I don't know, is it coming from education, or is it coming from the pressure of the environment? I don't know where it comes from, but this always the aim to be somewhere, to be someone, to become. And I think it gives pressure and gives false acting in your everyday life, in forming businesses, in forming your creative process. It goes away from you. When we talked before about owning your own place, from where you come from, like people who were before you.
Yeah.
This is the power, the 10,000 of mothers and like maybe 10,000 of fathers. They have experience, they had experience, emotions. Everything goes through your DNA in your body, all of them, that power, that knowledge.
It's 7 generations you carry with you.
All the generations, because they teach,
7 generations of trauma.
Yeah, trauma, of course, trauma is very like as a gift, but as well all the strengths, all the experiences which make them stronger, and you have this already as your background. Yeah, then you come as a unique person with your own experiences, with your body experiences, feelings, what happened to you, where you, in what environment you developed. Yeah, so you have already a big amount of information and possibilities and gifts.
Wow.
You start to work from this point of view with your body, with problems that comes to you, from from your experience. For example, you are like very little woman, for example. Yeah, you're like the not so tall. Yeah, very very small woman, and her problem could be that a lot of fashion garments are for taller women. They are standardized. I don't know where the standard is taken from. I've never seen that anywhere. but like what she meets like a lot of things that they are too big for her. Even her bags maybe are too big for her. Yeah,
That's me.
Yeah. So, for example, she could start from the creating garments for small women like her, with the measurements which are better and made differently because the bodies are different, you know. So, like starting point to work from what I meet every day, what is my thing every day, what I miss every day, what I have now. From this point, make a business, make a design, make all your actions, and not to think, you know, maybe people in this kind of country, they would like this kind of product. You don't know those people, you don't live with them. Like, you only assume that somebody could use. But if you start from yourself, from your point, from your experience, it could occur that there are a lot of people like you. Maybe 10,000, maybe 1 million. Even if 1% in all humanity, that's a big number.
Yeah.
You know, and they could say, oh, I relate to her because it's human, you know, it's human experience. I do experience this too. And you solve your problem, but actually you solve a problem of a big community, a big amount of people.
You gave an example of the ripped jeans.
Yeah, of the ripped jeans with the girl, yes, who made the jeans for herself when she started to sit in a wheelchair, and you know the pockets even it's not nice, you know, when they are on the butt when you are sitting all the time. So maybe there could be a different way for the pockets to put some things, or when you sit, maybe it could be constructed differently on the body. More space of fabric on the knees. Maybe you have too much of fabric underneath the knees in the back of the leg. But the main thing I think in the process not to look out so much, but look at what point you are, at what point how you are living, what inspires you, or what problem gives you, you know, headache every day. Solve it, one small problem, you know, and it will be like, it could be big business, and then you are an expert of that problem. Yeah. Because you know it, because you solved it for yourself.
On the user side, you know, people who aren't designers, and they have to pick what's out there. What would you suggest for them when I'm going shopping? But I want to genuinely express myself and have a brand that is true to me. We find it very hard.
Well, actually, it's easy. You know why? Because, well, two things that I do. This is, do I talk out of this garment myself? Do I talk out? You know, I want it, but I say, oh, maybe, you know, it's too expensive, or maybe this and that, or maybe I don't use that, but I really want it. Yeah. So this is one side, and sometimes it's not that I like so much, but I think, oh, maybe I would use this a lot. It would be convenient. It would be basic garment for my wardrobe. So maybe I take it. You know, the weight, you can feel it in the emotional weight. It's different. That is very logic, you know, but I don't feel happiness. And what will be, I won't use it because I don't feel happy with that. It doesn't elevate me. It doesn't give me power. It doesn't give me joy. It doesn't give me energy. I buy only things that gives me energy, gives me joy, gives me satisfaction. I don't do any compromises. I think compromises are the worst things ever, because like nobody's happy at them. Like, you know, they never work. So I think it's better to find garment or thing or environment where you are really connected. It gives you energy. It is alive to you. Yeah? So when you connect, when you wear that garment, for example, you feel uplifted. Then you radiate the energy from yourself differently. You connect to people that radiate to you again. So this connection, you feel more powerful in the front of the audience. It gives you money, you know, because you work better, because you are alive and you are shining this energy of life through yourself. Because maybe your lipstick is so nice, you know, or maybe your perfume gives you that feeling. Whatever gives you feeling of life and aliveness, it's the best thing to invest. I look at this at investment. And then and don't ever buy anything that it's like half, you know.
That inspires me.
I think it's very feminine way of thinking.
Well, because we travel a lot, so I've been literally living on a suitcase. And it doesn't give you much options, right? So you usually, most of the time, I would go for the most convenient one, something, you know, I can always go for, but it's not like something I love and, you know, like it gives me energy and fills me with life. But thank you for that. I'll keep that in mind while going shopping.
Functionality doesn't have to be compromised as well. Functionality, like good design, is when aesthetics is the last step. Aesthetics happens only after, when all the steps in the design process is done good, is done correctly. When the function is 100%. There's no compromise there. When it fits good, when it's good, good construction, the fabric is good, the color is good, like everything's serving you, the aesthetics happens. It's the final step, which is like comes out of it. So you know, you don't have to like have comfortable clothes, but you know, not so nice that doesn't lift your spirit. No, it's like it's like basis. I don't buy clothes which are not comfortable at all, because you know, it's like
Considering that it's comfortable, it's functional, and then
yeah. So of course, then there's lots of shops that you won't go. You know, and lots of things that you won't buy, because there's like maybe from 100 it's 1% or 10% of brands who are not compromising on those criteria. And maybe it could be a little bit pricier, yeah, but I look at the price like this: how much I will use it, how long I will use it, and how much I will use it. The clothing has to work for me. I'm not working for clothing. They have to work for me. They have to give a benefit for me. How I feel in a day, how my body feels, because the clothing is like an architecture, like a home for body. So how my body is feeling, breathing, you know, in that. Do I feel my core when I go to the meeting, for example? Maybe my clothing gives me confidence, yeah? So it's like completely functional thing, and then the price is working for you. Then it goes in the little amounts of money every day, and it's not so pricey then in the end when you look at it.
Right, thank you. Speaking of compromise, you know, when we speak about, I don't know, there is this common perception or misperception about sustainable fashion. We directly related to, like we were discussing earlier as well, to limitation and compromise. But in your presentation, I loved how you showed like tremendous opportunities and possibilities within sustainable design. And I was like, wow, like that's possible, like this is possible. So What do you say about the limitations, the perception of sustainable fashion, and also like some examples that you could share which actually helped, like the challenge was actually a reason for a creative breakthrough in the industry?
Yeah, so I think the limitation is the best friend of a creative person. Fellini, I think, said that this worst thing to a creative person, to an artist, is to give total freedom. It is the same as that white page. Because when somebody says, like, create this thing, so you could, like, create a poem, you would sit for, I don't know, a month, maybe, maybe this poem, maybe not, maybe it's not enough, good enough, yeah? But when somebody says, create a poem without letter A, for example, then you think about words that comes without that letter, yeah? Then you make a connections of those words, and then you start to build, and you have a poem, maybe in a few hours even, and then you make them elevated. So this is what I want to say, that limitation, it's a gift. It's a direction where to look at. It shows like a wound is your best gift. So if you don't have something, or you have to work without something, yeah. So this is a great possibility. Great possibility. So when you look at it as a possibility to respond in a different way, just rule of a game.
Yeah.
At this time we work without that, for example, yeah. So it gives you freedom, it gives you lightness, and it gives you a lot of creative ideas. So sustainability is possibility to respond, but usually in our society it looks like very heavy upload on the shoulders. Like you have to think about that and not that, but it's actually easy. It's very natural for us. Working in a sustainable way, it is how nature does for millions and billions of years. They work in collaboration. They work in those cycles that everything is recycled, is used for something, yeah? Like in the tree, you have the tree, and you have bugs, you have mushrooms, you have lots of life happening on the tree. The tree is feeding this life is feeding the tree, yes? And there's like whole cycle working together. So I don't think that we need to make something like as a new. We have to remember this is in our roots. Collaboration is in our roots. Yeah. There's no possibility of for competition. This one planet. There's no other home. So if you are a creative person, you will create again and again and again. Nobody can take anything from you. This is you. You are the creative person. You will work at any circumstances. So take that as a natural law. This is natural rule for us to be good to one another. Yeah. So in what way I will be good when I'm a designer? Maybe I am designing clothes that is good for the body, and not making you as a woman or a man feeling bad about your body. Yeah? Maybe this is kindness. And this is sustainable. Maybe I make room for different bodies and different sizes and different races of people, yeah? There are different kinds of people, and I make different designs. Maybe this is kindness as well, and this is sustainable. Maybe I don't look to fashion trends or seasons or anything, and I make from pre-loved clothing before, yeah? And I elevate it by my creativity. So there's not only sustainability, it's not only by recycling, or remaking. It's about principles, how we connect, how we look at each other as a humanity or as a part of the nature, and when we respond with kindness, with attention, with empathy, it's no like possibility to be not sustainable.
Right. Interesting. Looking to the future of fashion, what are some things that really, some trends or something that's coming up that excites you, and also that is going to shape us as humans and how we associate with fashion or how we associate with the world?
The nicest thing that is happening, that there will be no fashion. You know, one of my friend called me after one of the interview and said, you know, like if you would go to science and would be a scientist, and what you are thinking you would say through the science, it would be easier because everyone would believed you, you know, because there is numbers, there is research, there is like data, you know, and like it would be easier to give those understandings through that tool. When we were discussing with friends, she said, like that I went to fashion not because I was fond of it, that it was like, wow, nicest place to work. No, I didn't like. I liked the possibilities of fashion, but I didn't like the industry of fashion at all. Still to this time, I don't like it. The processes, what is happening to people who are doing those clothing, how it is done, it's not good. It's not good to anybody. You know, the whole point of trends is not good. The fitting bodies to the certain sizes, like one size for all. What is that? You know, like 2 meters person and 1 meter and 50. Like this is like completely different bodies. You know, one size, is it like really? So it's harmful. For children, I can see it. It's not only for grown-up women and men, but it's like teenagers who are forming their perception about themselves. When they don't fit in any of the genes, what is happening to the mindset? At the time when they don't understand that they are okay, they think that they don't fit in what they are not normal, you know. So I went to fashion to bring a message and the feeling and truth that I am living, and change it from the inside. And I'm not the only one. There's lots of people who are doing and saying that. And now we can see that fashion as the industry is crashing because more and more people are talking that this is nonsense. Yeah. Totally nonsense. They feel empowered to work, to respond differently, you know, and they say we're not taking it. And what is happening, the fashion is changing to a garment industry. And what garment gives, they are just tools, just elements for your expression of your identity, of your everyday life, and you take it just as an element, but not as an dictatorship, you know, how you should be, whom you should be, how you should look, that somebody would take you seriously or whatever. You know, it's just become simple tool as we use phones, as we use other tools, as we use food, you know, just a tool to express yourself and create your life like a puzzle, just a part of the puzzle. So this is exciting for me because it gives a possibility to be a creator and not an, you know, victim of this. And another thing which is interesting, that the craft is coming back. Like yesterday I saw my friend who is movie director. She says the craft is new sexy. So, and she was knitting in the car, you know. So I think craft is very nice. It will be new luxury and new premium. Let's hope so.
Thank you very much. I think I had the best one so far and a lot to come. I love it. I enjoyed every bit of it. And thank you for sharing your message, your personality, your spirit with us.